struggled with it in the beginning, but I found that my story can save a lot of people in a few different ways, just for the love of Christ. Sex, drugs, rock and rolls entered my life at about the age of 13. Went to 4 different high schools, went to a military camp for a year. I did graduate, but drugs ruled my life. I wasn't ready for college yet, and thought making some money on the side would be the best thing for me. I sold a lot of drugs to a lot of people, and still had morals about me to where I wouldn't bring them to churches, I wouldn't have it around those kind of people. I still had a respect for God. I grew up Presbyterian, and it was still in my heart regardless of the situations. I broke that rule at about 22 to 23 years old. And I had everything I thought. I had money, I had cars, I had girls. But it just wasn't enough. It wasn't fulfilling in the heart. It wasn't where God wanted me to be, for sure. So I went to church one Sunday and actually went against everything that I'd ever been for. I did drugs in a church, and I tested God before I did it. I asked him, what would you do? Take my parents? And I've got 2 wonderful parents, very proud of them. They've got great lives, and they gave me a great life. So that didn't bother me. But then I asked him if he'd take my brother, or what would he do, take my brother. And just kind of passed on and went ahead and did my drugs in the basement of a church. And that was about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. And the next day, me and my brother, we got into a big fight. And about 6:30 at night, he slammed the door, left the house. And 15 minutes later, I get a call from the police that he's been in a wreck and he's in the hospital. So I'm on the way to the hospital. His best friend calls me, tells me if I don't hurry, I probably won't see my brother alive again. By the time I made it to the hospital, within 20 minutes, he was dead. And I had prayed for him even before they had pronounced him dead, but it didn't work. And I struggled with why. Why is this happening to me? Was it the test? Was it everything I've been doing? The sex, drugs, rock and roll, not living the lifestyle that a Christian fellow should be living. And just the love of God, I never blamed him. I never had anything against him. I always loved him, but I always struggled with why. That was the biggest question I ever had, was why. And I still think that today. Learning more about my faith and becoming stronger in it, I found that maybe that was for me to save many people. Maybe my story may compel hundreds or more, or maybe even one. But the fact that my brother's already in heaven, the fact that I could save one more person to bring up there, means more to God than anything else. And he took my brother home, and I'm not mad at him for it. But it is a struggle, and we're all not perfect. And You know, I love God. I love Jesus. I love the way they move through me. I love the way they move through this church, and I want to share with people the fact that nobody's perfect. You're not going to start out perfect. You're going to start on rock bottom. And it takes that sometimes to become a powerful man of Christ. That being on rock bottom is what makes me feel like I'm on the top now. And I love God, and I love Jesus, and I love everything that they're doing for me. Got 2 wonderful boys, a wonderful wife, great jobs. We've been blessed. And I thank God and I thank Jesus every day. And I pray to Him all the time. We talk like we're buddies. Sometimes my prayers are childlike, but that's alright, because I'm one of their children. And I just pray that this video reaches somebody or many and turns lives around. I hope that you find the value in Jesus Christ. I hope you find the value in praying and realizing that God did not take my brother, He used my brother. And He used it for my benefit and hopefully